Hey, everybody. Welcome to our Happy Friday show. My name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Happy Friday. It is, yes, Friday late. Normally we are on earlier on Fridays, but we are all located now in Houston for International Quilt Market, which is the trade show for the quilting industry. And so it's been a busy day setting up the booth, and I did some presentations and things like that. So we are remote. Mr. GP is running the show from home. So do you want to say hi?
Hello,
There he
everyone.
is. Look at that beautiful Alberta quilt behind him. Gorgeous. Now, it's going to be a little bit different show because we don't have all the stuff, but that's okay. I thought I would give you some updates, and we're revealing our bundle club fabric, our quarterly subscription club fabric to you today. But we start every Friday off with a little bit of something to drink. And so our cocktail of the day, continuing our fall theme, is an apple cider mule. Now, we love mules, but in this one, there's just vodka and ginger beer like normal mules, but you also add a little bit of apple cider. And you garnish it with an apple and a cinnamon stick. Very simple, but you can get such good cider these days. So it is extra good. Now we have with us here in Houston, Mr. HP is here, and so is Kara, and her husband Josh has been helping us out too. Oh, I think somebody has something to show you guys. Oh, look at that cool dude in his new quilted vest.
Yeah.
So yes, he made himself a vest. Well, I shouldn't say made himself.
I had a great team.
He had some help, but he quilted it, and it's flannel, and it looks awesome. And it's warm, isn't it?
Very nice and cozy and soft.
Yes.
And thanks, Karn.
And then Karn and Colleen finished it up for him. Karn finished it up for him. She sewed it into a clothing. That awesome. Would not be me. Would not be me. But now I want one, of course. Strip
cocoon, right?
Strip cocoon is the pattern, yes. Made with flannel, and you quilted it. You got to come up close to show them up close. The quilting pattern is really cool. Just put your back up against the camera.
Put your back against the wall.
Come closer. Yeah, you can see it. It's called kindling, is the pattern. Yeah, cool.
So cool.
So cool. He got a lot of attention at the airport.
Hi, everybody. So good to see you.
So yeah, he got a lot of attention. But word of the day. You got word of the day? Or does the GE warehouse have word of the day?
I guess the warehouse has word of the day.
Well, today,
Mr. GP, does the warehouse have word of the day?
The warehouse chose Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Of course. It's getting close. Just a few days away. And we will be setting up for festival on that day. That's a great word of the day. It's one of my favorites. All right. Everybody loves quilted your jacket. Vicky says her son and daughter are jealous. They both have wanted quilted clothes. But they all love it. That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, there was some sweat going on in setting up the booth this morning because it's quite hot and humid here in Houston, and they had to dig out stuff out of the trailer. So I had to look cute because I had a presentation, and that's kind of the only picture I took today. I took a selfie. I took a selfie from my schoolhouse session. Schoolhouse is something that runs the day before Quilt Market, and there's lots of little mini presentations that shop owners can hop to and from. And so I did my little presentation, 30-minute, and we had a packed room. People were standing outside the room. So lots of great people, happy people excited about stripology. So, and these are all shop owners, so they'll be bringing in all the stuff to their stores. So we're excited about that. Very excited about that. We have some interesting national days today. I had found, I'm always trying to find food to suggest what we're going to eat tonight, but it is National Parmigiano Reggiano Day and National Breadsticks Day. So Parmesan and breadsticks, yeah, there's a little something missing there. But I also know that it is International Champagne Day. So, that makes everything better. And also, I think American Beer Day. American beer. How can it be that? So beer or champagne. But there were some funny ones too. It's been Bandana Day, Cranky Coworkers Day. We don't have any cranky coworkers, do we? National Black Cat Day. Anybody have a black cat? Maybe. They have their own day, evidently. And it's also Frankenstein Friday. That one I like. Do we have to do the Frankenstein walk? Isn't that Frankenstein? Yeah. Do I have this right? Yeah. We all have to do the Frankenstein walk.
I don't know why I don't know.
I don't either. All right, let's do one of our Friday segments. It's time for our Friday show and tell. Now, Mr. GP, you're going to have to tell me who made these quilts. I know this is Taylor. These are two matching tailors. You have to tell the names because I can't see that. Can you tell them?
This is a tailor by Robin.
I love that. Beautiful colors, Robin. Awesome job. It looks like two matching crib size. So cute. All right, who's up next?
This is from Amy.
Oh, a Phoenix. Amy. I don't know if she used flannel fabrics or if this is from shirts. It could be either way, but that's awesome. I love the grays and reds together. That's really cool. Good job on the Phoenix, Amy.
This
All
is from
right.
Susan.
Then we have from Susan, a beautiful Inga. This is very cool because we just had our Scrappy with Focus on last Tuesday on our matchmaker, and this is perfect. Monochromatic with focus, green as your focus. Love it.
This one's from Marlene.
Marlene, what a beautiful harmony quilt. Amazing. I love the words. I put words on mine too, but I just quilted them in. But I love this. Beautiful, beautiful job. And what an amazing quilting pattern.
It's a cool.
Yeah, that is really cool quilting. Really dense and just awesome. Awesome job.
This one's from Nancy.
Nancy, a beautiful Kimberly. Love the soft colors. It's just ready for spring. The yellows and the pinks. Beautiful job. And a cute photo.
This one's
And that's a
from
beautiful
Sarah
Sammy.
Jean.
Sarah Jean. Beautiful Sammy job there. I love kind of the greens because they match some of the other fabrics in the quilt, so it's not so harsh, but really awesome. And looks like some fun themed novelty fabrics in there. Golf fabrics. Awesome job.
This is from Jamie.
Oh, Jamie, wow. This is a great bob and weave. Love that background. That's a beautiful color gray. And just the scrappy fabrics in the strips is awesome.
This one's from Deb.
Deb made this awesome Kira. Wow, I love this one. So she turned Kira into a scrappy with background using a single background for the alternate block. Beautiful job. Makes it really nice and clean and sharp.
Next one's from Carlotta.
Beautiful Wanda. Oh, I love that ticking border. Sashing. That's really cool and so fun in the red. Love the aquas and the pinks and the other fabrics as well. That's really cool. Great job.
And last but not least, we got Sandy.
Sandy, and this is Strip to Shore. That was our strip along pattern a few years back, and she did one of the alternate versions. Really great. Oh, Judy is loving GP's smooth announcer voice. I love it too. Well, that was a great show and tell, everybody. Thank you so much. And that's it for show and tell. All right, before we go into Bundle Club, I have a message from Nancy. Everybody, we got to listen when Nancy has a message. If you ordered your Advent box a while back, maybe early, and the address that you ordered with, that is not where you're staying now, all of you snowbirds, make sure you contact us and let us know where you would like that box shipped. Because, of course, we're going to ship it to the address automatically that is listed when you ordered it. So just let us know because they are being cut and put together. We're excited for Advent season, even though we still got some time. But it's going to be so awesome. So much stuff in that box that we got to have some time to put it all together. All right. So it is time for our Bundle Club reveal. So our Goodies Bundle Club is our quarterly subscription. Every 3 months, you get a bundle that I've procured specifically for the club, and we make quilts from it, take photos that are all included in the beautiful booklet, and we always keep it a secret. So most people have their Bundle Club already. If you don't, you can just turn us off if you want it to be a surprise. But here is our October 2023, which is our 5th shipment Goody's Bundle Club. Let's go. Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs, and in this video, I'm so excited to introduce you to our October 2023 Goody's Bundle Club selection. That is our quarterly subscription program. This month, we feature a collection called Sea Sisters by Free Spirit Fabrics, designed by Shell Ramel. Designer Shell Ramel has been successful in the fine arts, wedding, and stationery markets for decades. Her designs are tranquil, fluid, and sophisticated, and watercolor is her preferred medium. She has won awards for her art, and I love how organic her designs are. This is her third line for Free Spirit Fabrics, and so what caught my eye are the beautiful colors, the uniqueness of the prints, but how they all work together, creating nice gradients from light to dark. I included a few basics in the bundle, so let's take a look at the fabrics. We're going to start here on the darker end. I love the ombre effect that this whole bundle creates. So that means we're going to start here on the bottom of the photo here in the booklet. So the first print is from the Sea Sisters line. It's called Sea Wall in the azure color. So I love the teals, the light grays, and just a little bit of green and that golden kind of a taupey green in there. So all the colors here that you can then use to pick your accents. Next up, we have a basic that I added in. I wanted another kind of a darker grayish blue. This is called Dry Brush in the medium denim color. Perfect texture to blend everything else. Then we have Sea Sister Urchins in the Storm Gray. So a very warm gray, has a little touches of taupe in here. So it's a really, really awesome print here. Next up is another basic that I added. This one is called Bliss. And this colorway has anything from the darkest values to the blues, the teals, the taupes, and all the grays. And the texture of this is just perfect for the whole feel of the Sea Sisters line. So it's a great mix in here. The next one is from Sea Sisters. This one is called Sanibel in the ocean color. So I love this print, even though it looks very structured, it's so organic with that golden green, the grays, a little bit of teals, and then all the shades of blue as well. Then we have a large scale print called Low Tide, and the colorway is called Dusky Blue, but I want to show you the variety in this print. I love prints like this because depending on how you cut or where you cut, you get all these different elements and then all these different colors in there. So it's a beautiful addition and fun to play with within the bundle. Then we have a print called Crest in the silver blue. So all the different shades of blue, beautiful light blues, and just very fluid print. Fun to cut it either way. You can get a little direction with it. Then next up is called, it's a Sea Sisters, called Swirl in the indigo. Even though there's a lot of light blues in here, it's that touch of indigo that really makes it cool and gives it just enough of a of color to kind of stand out based on the other ones. I really love a little bit more structured, not as watercolory fluid as the other ones. Next, we have a little bit of a floral. It is called Coastal Wildflowers Dusky Blue. And I love the dusky blues, but look at the teals, the little greens, the golden greens, all the colors we've been seeing in the other prints. Just a gorgeous little floral there. Then I added another basic. I wanted another light value basic. This is another dry brush, and the color is called Light Blue. So very nice, just these light blue hues that match everything in the rest of the prints. Then we have a light print. This one is called Cloud Cover in the gray. So it has mostly grays, but then these bits of blue into a little bit of teal, just kind of specked throughout. So a very open pattern. And then finally, we have, I'm going to bring it over here so you can see it, another print. It's called Shallow, and the color is aquamarine. It's similar to the Sanibel print, similar feel, but much lighter, a little bit more open, more subtle, but beautiful teals, greens, and grays in here that really harmonize with the rest of the bundle. So these are the colors, the 12 fabrics that I picked for the bundle. So as I always do, I do a fabric pull. If you wanted to pull in other hues and other fabrics. So let me show you which ones I chose. I'm going to start here on the lighter end. So this is a chalk and charcoal gray. That is beautiful mix, so very subtle gray with a lot of that light color. And if you want to see exactly all of the fabric pulls, easy if you have the booklet, just scan the QR code here. We'll take you to a page with links to all of these fabrics. Next up is a deco stitch. Reflection is the color, so another light gray with some darker gray elements. Then we have floral elements in the Storm. Storm Winds is called. So it's gray, but it has a little bit of that taupe color, so it works really nicely with some of the darker ones here. And going into a little darker gray, the Grunge in the Grease color has just a little more taupe to it and some of the darker gray elements. We have a Nature Elements in the Charcoal, another beautiful darker gray that has the lighter gray elements in there. I did include a little bit of green, so the bumbleberries in the Garden Sage, so a little green color which matches all the greens throughout that are kind of sprinkled throughout the bundle. Into a little dusky blue, the Seedlings in the Sky is a beautiful medium blue that has a lot of gray to it. Then we have Crimp in the Bluebell. So some of the lighter blue tones, this is a perfect mix. I also just love the print. It would mix perfectly with the theme. We have a Bumbleberries in the Gray Blue, a nice light blue also with darker blue elements that's going to fit right in. A Chalk and Charcoal in the Dusty Blue has a little more teal to it, so bringing in a little bit of that. And then we have a Grunge Picnic, so a darker blue but has a very subtle kind of a dusty feel to it, so very kind of monochromatic, if I could call it that. We have another Bumbleberries, the Basic Indigo. So it has some of the lighter tones in here, but we're definitely getting into the darkest values here on this end. And then finally, the darkest one, we have a Dash Flow in the Blueprint. So that's kind of the darkest navy. So we have that same element coming through all of the fabric pull prints, except for maybe the green, that ombre effect going from the blues into the grays and the taupes and mixing up perfectly. So these are the fabrics I pulled with a bundle. So now it's time to look at our quilts. Let's take a look at the quilts we made. We made 4 quilts, and so there's great options to kind of do a mix and match if you wanted to make any of these. So you could either make Coral or Nikki. And then from the same bundle, if I made Coral, I was able to cut squares for Wanda. And after cutting Nikki out, I was able to get my strips for Hang Glide. So you could do any mix of the 2 quilts. So let's start with our Coral quilt. The Coral pattern is found in the Stripology Mixology book. I made the lap size, so I was able to cut the 10-inch squares from my bundle. In addition, you will need a background fabric. So I used the Grunge in the Admirable color, a nice deep dark navy with a lot of gray to it. I used that for the binding as well. But for our backing, we used a Sea Sister watercolor Urchins, which is a wide back that I'm going to introduce you to a little bit later, but beautiful larger scale version of the Urchins. The next quilt we're going to look at is Wanda. Wanda is found in the Stripology Mixology book, and it's made with 5-inch squares. So after I cut 10-inch squares, I could cut 5-inch squares. I needed a few more than I could get out of the bundle. So I took one of the extra 10-inch squares that I had left from Coral and cut it down. So I was able to get all my squares for a lap size Wanda. For the background on Wanda, I used the Woodland Frost, so a nice bluish light gray with just light specks that have this bluish gray darker specks. And then for the accent fabric and binding, we used the Provisions in the sienna color. It's just a beautiful sharp accent to all of them. Now you will see kind of these tones sneaking through in all the prints, so it really worked well with for the Wanda quilt. For the backing, I used a Sea Sister Ocean Fragments. Now this is a fabric that is not in the bundle, but it's a beautiful print, and we have it available in 3 yards and 1 yards. So it has all these colors, has kind of these white stripes going through it. So this is what we use for the backing for the Wanda quilt. The next quilt we're going to look at is Hang Glide. Hang Glide can be found in the Strip Your Stash book. It's made with 2.5-inch strips, which I was able to cut from the bundle after cutting my squares, 10-inch squares. So I got 36 strips out of the bundle, but for the lap size I needed 40. So I just added a few more basics from my stash, a few strips, and I was able to finish the quilt. So for this quilt, you need 2 different accent colors for the sashing. And so I used the nature elements in the moss for that sharp green to stand out nicely. And then the grunge peacock for the secondary color that kind of falls back. For my sashing post, I used the spotted ink. So a black that has a little bit of white, so it has that sharp contrast coming through. I bound it with the same nature elements in the moss, and for our backing, used the wide back, the watercolor urchins wide back for our backing. And then last but not least, our 4th quilt we made, I cut 10-inch squares and used that for our Nikki pattern, which is a brand new single pattern that uses 10-inch squares. You do need an accent color. So what I used for accent on Nikki was the cracked shadow in the La Peace color. So a little bit brighter blue than the ones that we have been using, with just these little lighter shades mixed throughout. I used that for the binding as well. And then the wide back, we used the beautiful print from before, the Sea Sisters Ocean Fragments. So just the 2 fabrics along with the bundle for the Nikki quilt. So on the back page of our booklet, you will see all the fabrics that we have additionally available from Sea Sisters and all of the coordinates listed. So let me just take you through them. I want to first show you the Sea Sisters fabric we have. We have, of course, the Ocean Fragments. It's available both in 3-yard cuts and in 1-yard cuts. If you wanted to just get a little more to mix in, that would be a beautiful addition as well. So we have that, and then we have, of course, the wide back available in a 3-yard cut, so that means it's 108 inches by 108. We also have 1-yard cuts, which is 36 by 108. So we have both of those available. We have a couple of prints because I really loved how the Bliss fit into with all of the other fabrics. We have 2 more colors of Bliss that I thought would really do well with mixed in with these. If you wanted to make a larger quilt, you could get the Bliss in color 96. It doesn't have a color name, but it has a little bit more of the teal, a little bit darker. And then we have the Bliss in the color 92, so which is a lot lighter with some lighter blues sprinkled throughout. So these both would be really beautiful mixed in if you wanted a little more variety, if you wanted to make something larger. Then we have what I showed you earlier, the provisions in the sienna, the cracked shadow in the lapis, and these are all available in 1 yards. We have the woodland frost, which is a perfect background. Also could be mixed in with all of these prints and look beautiful. We have the grunge in the peacock. And we have grunge in the admirable. We have the nature elements in the moss and the spotted in the ink. So these are all the fabrics we used as coordinates for our quilts. And we have a lot of variety, of course, alongside all of the 1 yards I did for the fabric bowl that could also be mixed in. Now let's take a look at the long arm patterns that we use for our 4 quilts, starting with coral. For coral, we picked a beautiful flowy print or pattern called zoysia. So it's kind of like grasses, and it really creates the different directions and a fun print that worked really well for coral. Then we have the Wanda quilt, and the quilting pattern we chose for that was a simple plumes pattern that creates those little loops within loops, but in different sizes, so it creates a great texture for that Wanda quilt. The next one up is our hang glide quilt, and hard to see on the quilt there, but it is called Lake Ridges Puddles. So very watery effect, so like little puddles when you're jumping, hopping into puddles. Really nice pattern, easy to quilt, and beautiful texture for that quilt with all the straight lines to have something a little swirly. For the Nikki quilt, we chose a pattern called Contempo, a little more modern, very geometric. Again, pretty simple to quilt because it just has those corners. So just slow down your machine a little bit to take those corners, but it was a beautiful texture that got created for the Nikki quilt. I hope you are enjoying your Sea Sisters. What a beautiful, soothing way to make some beautiful quilts for going into winter this fall season. I love them all, and of course they could be used year-round with all those beautiful blues and taupes and grays. Now remember, all of the fabrics we have available now in the store, so if you're planning to make any of these quilts and want to include some of these prints that are exclusive to Sea Sisters, make sure you snatch them up while you can. Now, if you're not a subscriber of our Goodies Bundle Club, our quarterly subscription, make sure you sign up now. We always have a few spots available. They come and go pretty fast. You can always cancel anytime, and you will receive this beautiful bundle along with a booklet, which is full of inspiration for quilts that you can make with that particular bundle. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Well, gorgeous, gorgeous fabric, wasn't it? It's one of our favorites. I think it's been a hit everywhere. So we really, really loved it. I had so much fun making the quilts, and I see that we have some questions. Oh, my blouse matches the bundle. Yeah, look at that. It could totally be part of it. I could kind of mesh in with the fabrics if I would have these quilts hanging in the booth. But we had some other questions, Mr. GP. Is coral in a book? Yes, coral is in the first mixology book. So we find that there. It's written for 10-inch squares. And somebody asked, oh, Grunge Admirable is sold out. Oh, you need to add the quilting patterns to the brochure with a link to purchase. I'm not sure we would be allowed to add links, but that's definitely a point that we can definitely incorporate next time. We can do a little close-up with the name of it, because I really love adding all the information for you if you're inspired by some of it. Somebody asked, oh, Grunge Admirable is sold out. Any other suggestions? There is a Grunge Picnic, which is similar. I had that in the fabric pool. I had actually quite a few blues in the fabric pool, so check those out. We have it on order. I just know that there are quite a few Grunge colors that are on back order. So we will get that shipment as soon as they get it in. So if you're not in a rush and want to wait for that one, you can. Otherwise, I would suggest some of the ones that I pulled in the fabric pull. And if we see any extra delay in some of these, we will maybe give you some other options. Somebody asked about if the woodland frost would be a good background for coral. I used it for background for the Wanda quilt. So I think it's a little light for coral, which is why we went with a darker background. But and it's just because the Wanda, you have that sashing will give you that pop of color. So I wanted a neutral background, but it really blends nicely with the line. I would just be afraid of not all the fabrics showing up because it's really similar to some of those lower values, lighter values. Did Mr. HP do the quilting? I'm not sure you did any of those. I think Julie did all the quilts. Did you?
No.
Did you do any? Not this time. No. He was too busy quilting his quilt for the vest. If you're using yardage, can you cut strips for coral instead of using 10-inch blocks? Yes, absolutely. You can just look in the pattern because you actually cut the 10-inch squares into strips and sew them back together. So that's the strip width you would do. There's 2 different strip widths that you would use. So you can just look at that. Easy. If we want the fabric that is sold out, can your order be held until it comes back in? That would be hard for us because we don't know when it comes in. However, if you, let me see. So you can, since it's sold out and it's still on the website, you can sign up for notifications and just get an email when it comes back in. But I'm not sure you can't order it if it's not in stock, unfortunately, unless we put it on pre-order. But like I said, we don't know when it's coming in, unfortunately. But we could definitely look into that. Sheila's asking you a question, Mr. HP. Mr. HP, do you think anyone, a newbie like me, can do a long arming?
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
I'm assuming she meant long arming. Yeah. He didn't even know anything about quilting, so he had to start even by learning the terms.
I could do it. Anybody.
He had to learn what a throat space is and what a quilt sandwich is and all those things. Yeah. So
if I could do it, anybody can do it.
Yes.
Patience and consistency. You can do it.
Practice. Yeah. And practice. Okay. Any other questions to see, Mr. GP?
I think that's it.
I just see how everyone are loving it. Somebody's asking where we are. We are in our Airbnb. When we go to shows, we like to all stay together in a house. It just makes it more fun. So we're in an Airbnb not too far from the Houston Convention Center. So it's nice. You can hang out. All right. Some of you are looking forward to seeing us in Houston next week. I can't wait. Everybody's really echoing that practicing, anybody can do long arming. It's just a process and practice, definitely. Especially if you do any computerized work, that's really, really easy and anybody can do that. All right. We have some new 108s in the store. I just want to put them up on the screen. And I think Mr. GP has to tell you guys the names of them because I can't see that. We don't have any fabric bundle today, but beautiful 108s.
Crescent line, and this is the charcoal colorway.
What is this name? What's the name of it?
Crescent charcoal.
Okay. And what company is that from? Do you remember?
I do not remember.
Okay. Kara, do you remember?
Crescent charcoal?
The 108s? Well, we'll look it up.
Moving on.
Moving on.
This is ivory.
Beautiful.
And then it also comes in light gray.
Yeah, super cool. That's a really cool texture. Somebody needs to make that in regular width fabric.
Navy. We got purple.
Oh.
Blank.
Okay, it's from Blank.
from Blank Quilting.
Yes.
And then the last colorway we have is Sage.
Oh, that's pretty. I love that. Awesome. Beautiful new 108s. And as you know, we have it available in 3-yard cuts and 1-yard cuts. So a 3-yard is 108 by 108. So it's a big square, enough for a big king size quilt. So love it. Everybody wants you to talk more, Mr. GP. You got a soothing voice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You got a radio DJ voice. I think this is pretty much it for us today. Do we have a live winner? I forgot to ask you all to comment, but I know a lot of you have been commenting throughout.
Our winner today is
Janet Clement. Congratulations. Janet just sent us an email to help@dquiltdesigns.com, and we will get you that gift card right away. We will be live from Houston again on Tuesday. Remember, we're still going to do our Matchmaker series, part 3. If you missed the past few Tipsy Tuesdays, you can always go back and watch it. It's very valuable. It's fun to see now that we're showing you Bundle Club. You could totally categorize the quilts we showed you, which category they would fit in. So make sure you watch Tipsy Tuesday. We'll be still live from Houston, so I'll be right here. And we have even more of our team joining us. And then our next show after that will be Friday. Again, we're going to be at 12 p.m. Central Time. So our normal time on Friday, but it will be a weird show on Friday. Just a quick one from the booth. Yes, from the booth in Houston. And so you can kind of see what's going on. But that's it for us tonight. We are going to get a good night's sleep. Show starts tomorrow. We got to still do a few more things to the booth in the morning. And then we open the booth at 9:30 for all of the beautiful shop owners that are coming to shop the show. And we can't wait to meet everybody. But until then, we will see you Tuesday, which is Halloween at 4 p.m. Bye, everybody. We'll see you then.
Bye, everyone.